All right, greetings, final project 620 class. Here's the home page. We're now in a incognito window. We're going to go to the final project. Title is periodic table, grades 10 through 12. Here are the standards, lesson objectives, materials needed, instructions to follow, lesson plan. Lesson plan shows the standard, objectives to be covered, materials and resources, the introduction, the I do, we do, you do, guidelines, differentiation instructions, closing of the lesson, and additional steps to be taken. Next, we're going to go to the online quiz. So here's the online quiz in a Google form. Students are being assessed their understanding of atomic structures and the organization of the periodic table. Next, we're going to take a look at the background videos 1 and 2 that students will need to watch. Here's background video number 2. Next, we're going to go to interactive tool, quiz is, and its rubric. So here's the flashcards. Students were given approximately 15 cards. They have a front and a back of the card, and they will use it as activity to show mastery of the different vocabularies related to the periodic table and atoms. And then here is the rubric for that. So for the rubric, students with criteria, accuracy of the matches, participation in effort, use of scientific vocabulary, and the descriptors for the points: excellent, good, and fair. Next, we'll go to interactive tool number 2, Padlet and its rubric. So for the Padlet, students will create 2 different posts, and for each post, they have to add 1 image, 3 key vocabulary terms, 1 instructional video, and 4 accurate related facts. So the 2 posts will be on groups of the periodic table, and then the actual trends of the periodic table. Now we're going to click on the rubric for the Padlet. So for the rubric, your point systems, again, excellent, good, and fair. Some criteria would be what's the use of the vocabulary terms, what the type of images that were used, the video selection, yes or no, did they make 1 post, did they make 2 posts, and then what was the actual content for both of the posts. Continue on to interactive tool number 3, Quizlet. So for the Quizlet, students are going to match the terms and their definition as fast as they can to avoid any wrong matches. So you would choose a question, and then you would choose an answer choice. If you get it correct, the 2 cards will shake. I'm sorry, if you get it incorrect, the 2 cards will shake. If you answer the questions correctly, then the 2 cards will turn green, and then they will go away. And that's how you'll play the Quizlet. And then the rubric for that: accuracy of matches goes on the criteria. What's your speed and efficiency, engagement and effort, and vocabulary applications. And then your description of the point values: excellent, good, or fair. Then next, we'll go to interactive tool number 4, PhET simulation, isotopes and atomic mass. So here, students will be able to assess and practice dragging and dropping neutrons to the scale, and this creates different versions of isotopes, students will be able to go into a larger view of the simulation. They'll be able to see, as they're dragging and dropping the neutrons, how many protons, electrons does that create? How does the isotope change? How doesn't? Is it abundant in nature or not? And some other information and where it's located at. Students are also provided a student guided directions to how to go through the simulation and how to answer some questions as they go along. And then lastly with that, we'll have the rubric for the FAT simulation. Criteria: understanding isotopes, comparing, contrasting, being able to identify isotopes, and so on. Excellent, good, and fair would be the description of the point values. And then next we have the interactive screencast lesson on Nearpod. We'll click here. This is where students will be able to engage in an interactive lesson, reviewing periodic table trends, valence of electrons, and classification of the groups of the periodic table. Type in your name, click join lesson. There's a brief video. I'll play that for a few seconds. Pause in there. Also, throughout the interactive are formative assessment questions and opportunity for students to actually draw and circle on the periodic table to show the classifications of the three main groups. This concludes the tour of Final Project EDU 620 periodic table grades 10th through 12th grade. Thank you.